Typesoul and bugs is like peanut butter and jelly. It goes perfect together. Typesoul just re-released 2 days ago. After we waited all day on the 31st for the re-release, they finally re-released at 11 p.m. wasting the entire day away. The whole reason we waited so late for the re-release of the game is because they wanted to make sure ranked worked when the game released. Spoiler alert, ranked did not work when the game released, so it was kind of a waste of waiting all day for the game to be re-released. Before I go over all the negative things about the game re-releasing, I want to go over my positives because this is a very constructive video on the Justleeahh channel and we love constructive criticism. The positives I want to go over is Fullbringer is pretty cool. I like Fullbringer. All the moves for Fullbringer is pretty cool. Typesoul is incapable of making a decent server that isn't laggy, bro. They're like actually incapable. The whole thing is really good. It doesn't seem like Fullbringer is too strong. It doesn't seem like Fullbringer is too weak. Now, let me go for all the negatives. Yes, positives over. That's my only positive about this entire video. The rest is just pure negativity.
Listen, stop.
I'm still gonna play Typesoul, obviously. I just want to go over the negatives. Negative wise, I'm purely just going over things I remember. First negative that I can remember is when the game released, nobody could even play the game because they forgot to unwhitelist the group and make the game public to everyone, so we couldn't even play the game for like the first 30 minutes. Change the intro. They changed the intro. Ooh! Okay, I don't want to say that every time though. I don't want to say that every time, but okay, play. Oh my! Okay, wait, is it locked? What do you mean they kicked you? Hold on, I gotta see if my slot's still locked, bro. What?
May God strike me down and send me to hell if I show you mercy. Bitch ass nigga.
Another negative is after that, console and mobile players still couldn't even play the game after a few hours of the game being out. You would just load into the game and you would immediately get DC'd. Fullbringer servers, you weren't able to do any missions on Fullbringer servers. It was just full bug. Every 2 to 3 missions that I did, my character will also just get full bug, so I have to restart the game entirely. Fullbringers had no cooldowns on any of their moves when the game released, so they could just constantly spam their moves. When the game released, there were no raids, it was no clan wars, it was no game modes, it was nothing, so we couldn't get anything past elite grade. We were hard stuck at elite grade, unable to do anything. Fullbringers couldn't even reroll their abilities until 4 hours after the update because they like had bug somehow. They were unable to fix it, so Fullbringers were stuck on the ability that they had for a very long time. Ranked still isn't out, by the way. You still can't play ranked and you still can't play any other game modes. Everyone's just playing a base plate and Typesoul right now, so it's kind of hard to prog right now. Raids and stuff just got fixed and they're still buggy. They still doesn't really work that well. Servers were extremely laggy. Even your own region servers were very bad when the game released. The hell mode quest was bugged, so you couldn't even prog in hell mode. Basically none of the new content that they added worked in the game the entirety of the update being out last night. None of the new content worked. Most of the old content didn't work as well. The only thing you could really do is play Fullbringer and make it to elite grade, and you couldn't really experience any new content unless you had Bankai, Voltstandig, or full res before the game shut down 7 months ago. So if you just tried to experience the new content last night, you were unable to do so. Banks were heavily bugged on release. Fullbringers were unable to use skill boxes and like blue pills and red pills, so all that stuff was genuinely just bugged. I can't think of anything that actually worked well on release. Like I said, missions, the main thing that you could only do on release because everything else was a little broken. Missions barely even worked itself. They were always just like stop working after a while and you have to just reset or wait the 3 minutes while the mission is like cancel itself. So missions were kind of cooked. Soul Society servers was capped at 3 people. You couldn't even enter the Soul Society. I honestly, that's just all I can think of off the top of my head, but there was nothing good about the update releasing. Like not a single good thing. Now it really makes you get the question, what were they doing for these 8 months? What were these testers actually doing? because the testers clearly wasn't testing the game. You can make the excuse that Typesoul's player count was just so high that it made everything like cook itself, but Typesouls have touched numbers like this before. Typesouls have touched over 200,000 before. Typesouls have touched these big numbers. They do it so frequently that you're not supposed to expect this out of Typesoul. Like, this re-release has to be the worst re-release that they've ever gameplay wise, because you couldn't do anything in the re-release. So what were the testers actually doing besides jerking off? The testers were doing nothing. Everybody on the test team needs to get fired, because what was the tester doing? The game shouldn't have released in such a state where you couldn't, like I said millions of times in this video alone, do anything at all. You're telling me no tester went on a full burger account, used a skill, seen that it had no cooldown? No tester tried to do the hell mode quest, see that mobs weren't spawning? No tester tried to reroll a full burger skill, seeing that you couldn't reroll anything? I believe that Typesoul testers have their tester role purely just for status. I don't think that these Typesoul testers actually test anything that happens out of the game. And it's not even only the testers' fault, because the devs as well. How do you mess up so horribly like this to where the entire day for the re-release is you just patching bugs that shouldn't have been in the game in the first place? Why do we still not have rank mode? It's 5 in the morning. August 2nd, and I want to play Typesoul Rank, and I still cannot play Typesoul Rank. Now, if this update came out all smooth, everything worked, everything was good off the jump, this probably would have been one of the best Typesoul updates in the world, simply because we got so much new content that it would have been amazing experiencing everything. All those new game modes, no, we can't even play them because it's not in the game right now. A perfect world, this update releases where everything works and we're able to do everything that we were supposed to do this update. I'm under the impression that they just started working on this hell mode update last month. If I'm being honest, I'm under the impression that they were slacking before and they just started locking in because their pockets got a little dry. By the way, with this update, they added a new type of move stacking that you could do. I'm not gonna leak how you do it, but you can move stack with a bunch of skills in this update as well. And with the whole true hog thing, they give a bunch of your slots like true hogs. I still have my true variant and it still let me use the true Hagoku. So even though I had a true variant, I could still use the true hog, and then the true hog just vanished for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but I'm just lost a bunch of true hogs for no reason at all. And not to mention, this update, they really scammed their players as well. All the players that spent Robux buying stuff just to get all your items and things of that nature reset back to 1 is really crazy to me. Not just spending money like buying rerolls and all the other stuff, because I'm not gonna lie, that shop with items that you could buy in Typesoul was massive. That shop was more massive than this shop was more massive than the low taper baby. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. But that shop was insane, bro. I don't know how they're gonna reimburse players like that. I made this analogy when I was streaming. Typesouls fed us and then they kind of took our food away. I messed up the analogy in the video because I can't remember it too much, but it was something very amazing. Basically, what I'm trying to say is we took all that time farming those rerolls. We spent all that time farming for stuff just for it to be useless. Because what do? They took most of our cosmetics away. They took most of our rerolls away. It's like they just like to make these split decisions without informing the community first, or like voting for it with the community first, that you don't really know what you're going to be able to keep when Typesoul re-releases. Because Typesoul, honestly, love fucking us over. But that's just all I have to say for this rant video about the Typesouls update. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you dislike the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs down. Comment down below if you think I missed anything, or comment down below if you dislike the video. Just let me know some feedback. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a good day or night wherever you are.